Good evening, everybody, and welcome back to the Fallout Bar. It is day 3 of the PDC Grand Slam of Darts 2025, and new face for the week. Joining me, rather than it being Colin Evans, who is still off playing darts, he was saying there was someone throwing phantom darts like Alexis Toilo on 4-7-1 in his Monday night pub league tonight. So he's still playing darts. So we have Mr. Dan Simpson for the first time this week. How are you, Daniel?
I'm very good, mate. Yeah, very good indeed. Busy up here. It's pissing down with rain. It's cold and it's pitch black, but yeah, all good. I thought it was. I thought as far as night 3 of the Slam go, that was pretty good. Because night 3 of the Slam and does night 4, so let's not get too excited. Let's not speak too soon.
We're not out the woods yet.
Nights 3 and 4 have the potential to really just sort of suck the life out of things because there's so much of it's already decided but I genuinely thought all the way through, even the games that didn't have a lot on them, I thought that there was some interesting things happened actually, and I thought it was a really decent night of darts. I thought it was really good. I thought we saw some. Again, probably a couple of results that I didn't expect to see. We saw some sort of business as usual, things that we hadn't seen earlier in the tournament. But yeah, I thought it was all right. I thought it was a canny night of darts. It's good.
Yeah, I'm with you on that. It was better than expected, I think is probably the best way of putting it. Because, for the first half of it, there wasn't a huge amount on most of the games. Like, there's potential for people to wrap up top spot, but that was pretty much it, really. So yeah, to get a decent night of darts out of there was pretty good, and I think we'll get straight into it. James Wade against Ricky Evans. Wade with absolutely nothing to play for, and Ricky Evans the chance to wrap up top spot, but in a position where he'd be very happy already. Just the fact that he knew he was going through to the next round threw up a bit of a surprise result after the first couple of games.
Yeah, I mean. Yeah. It's weird, isn't it? Because it was a surprise. Yes, you've got to have it down as a surprise result.
You wouldn't usually, obviously.
Tonight, but yeah, I think I picked James Wade as a semi-finalist when we talked through it. When we talked.
That's why he went out after that. Was one of the first ones to be out.
Yeah, ladies and gentlemen, you are very welcome. And obviously Bardi put me through it over and over on the live lounge that I did pick James Wade to get to a semi-final and I was really shocked with the first 2 games. Like I was really shocked because it was not what I expected. I mean, the loss to Stefan Belmont. I did not expect that at all. And whilst I thought, I'm not shocked that Gezi Price beat him, but I'm shocked at the manner in which he beat him. And just ran through him. But I suppose what I saw from James Wade tonight was just what I expected to see all weekend, sort of mid-90s average, 70% on the doubles. Like that's what I thought we'd get all the way through. And it was sort of
James Wading.
Yeah, and it was just business as usual. But unfortunately for James Wade, it was too little too late. And he's and realistically, like it's the game, it's the opening game that's cost him. It's that game against Stefan Belmont, because that's the one that really there's no excuse for losing that one. And yes, if you get turned over by Gezi, you expect him to get through the other 2 games fairly comfortably based on the form that we've seen. And I do think it was sort of that a qualification spot, whether it be the top one or the second, spot 1 or 2, was James's to lose, really. And I think that's what he did. But I think he did it the other day.
He didn't. He certainly didn't lose it today, and I don't think he lost it against Gezi yesterday. I think it was definitely Saturday that cost him. And Saturday was one of those games where even at 4 apiece and halfway through that last leg, you still fancied him to win that game.
Yes, yeah, 100%. 100%. And yeah, I think he'll be disappointed because I think he's been one of the best performers of the year this year. I think he's been absolutely superb this year, and to underwhelm as we really get into the nitty gritty of the business end of the season, as we get towards the Worlds and people are constantly talking about Premier League places and things. I think he will feel like he's really let one go there. But I think that we mustn't.
It doesn't make you feel like he's going to break his duck at the Worlds, does it?
No, it doesn't. It doesn't at all. But I do think, though, like it's easy to talk a lot about James because it's the upset. But I think it's worth just noting that on Ricky, or how good it has been, or certainly how much I have enjoyed seeing Ricky Evans back on TV. We've become used to over the last few years not really seeing Ricky Evans on telly, other than the sort of three, we see him at the World Championships, we see him at the UK Open, and we see him at the Players Championship final. That we sort of, but we haven't seen a lot of Ricky Evans on television outside of those events. And Ricky Evans is a player who should be on TV. Televised darts is better for having Ricky Evans in it. He's a great character.
He's box office, isn't he? He's what everyone wants to watch.
Because it is. He plays the game in such an entity, both stylistically and his personality. Like, it's very, very watchable. And I do think it's I think it's really nice and very, very positive. And I'm very much enjoying that. But he's only ever been here once before, back in 2020. He was out in the round robin stage. So to see him for the first time make it through to the second round of this tournament, the fact that we'll get to see him play on television again, he's going to lift himself higher up the rankings. Like, great news for Ricky Evans.
Yeah, absolutely is that. We haven't got a clip from any of the games so far. Main reason being that generally you'll get a winner of a game, but I don't think James Wade would have wanted to give an interview on his way home. I think he will be straight out the venue, to be honest.
Yeah, I think there might be a few like that think, well, I've already done this many. How many interviews do you need?
Exactly that. What do you want me to say realistically when, yes, I've won 5-2, but I'm going straight home now? Like, there's not a lot that I'm going to really contribute at this point.
Absolutely not.
Next up was, this is one that you're going to be happy talking about. I mean, not performance-wise, let's be honest, but another 5-1 victory, 3 in a row for Chris Dobey. Comfortably tops the group and does what he needs to. But this was it wasn't a great watch, was it?
No, and it was. I mean, it's fucking shite. Like, it was really bad, wasn't it? Like,
I was seeing it up. I was trying to see if you were going to try and find some positives in it, other than
no. I mean, no, I haven't got any, mate. I can't. I'm afraid. Like, I get, like, it's tough, in it, because when you can absolutely dominate a game like that, like when you can dominate a game, averaging 81 with 23% on the doubles, like, something's not quite clicking across the board, is it? I mean, again, I'm simply taking the positive of, like, it's another match won for Chris. Like, it's another match won for Chris. He's
absolutely cruised through 3 wins from 3, only dropping 3 legs.
And that, and again, and that's fine, isn't it? And I think
the first 2 games when it mattered for him to wrap up top spot, really, he was excellent and he played really well.
Well, I think the game that had all the. I mean, let's be honest. He's played 3 times. He's in 3 matches. He's dropped 3 legs. Like, that's perhaps not decent. If by anybody's standards, to drop 3 legs in 3 matches is a pretty decent run at it. I think
in the best player in the group stage so far.
Yeah, I mean the big let's be honest, the big match there. It was the match against Damon Heta. He's had loads of problems doubling, like loads of doubling problems, Dobey, and he was under pressure. Like, his doubling has been
problems on the outer ring,
but it's only under pressure. Like, so, like, I don't worry about it when he's playing against Martin Lukeman, who's averaging 72 or whatever he is, because there's no pressure on Dobey. When he played Heta, there was pressure on him, and he was 50% on the doubles. So I think over the course of the 3 games, today it was shite from both of them. But over the course of the 3 games, I've seen plenty. Like, I'm pretty pleased with where it's at. I just think that what he needs to do, Chris Dobey, is to still keep winning on TV. Like, he has to just keep it up and make it a habit. I think he's quite lucky. I mean, we won't talk about the later results yet, if in case anybody's finding them out for the first time through us. I mean, madness, but
what are you doing that for?
Yeah, odd. Like, just, I don't know, find a way to watch it. It's decent. So Yeah, I think he's relatively lucky with his next, with his next round match. I think it's a winnable fixture. He's probably going to, the way the brackets worked out, he's going to probably bump into world number one in the quarterfinal. But if he can keep winning matches and keep hitting doubles, then he's got a chance. I just think he needs to keep getting in the habit of getting deep in these tournaments again.
That's it. Just keep not dropping legs, and you'll be all right. Like, it's not gonna be much of a worry whatsoever. The next one I thought was another really solid performance from someone who, along with Dobie, has performed absolutely superbly in the group stage, which was Luke Woodhouse getting a win 5-4 over Stephen Bunting, who probably played better today than we've seen him in the first two games, but obviously, again, someone else that, along with James Wade, had nothing to play for.
Yeah, and it's you two have there's been an awful lot of talk about Bunting. We probably don't need to talk too much about. We've done a lot of Bunting talk, but I don't think you can say enough good things about Luke Woodhouse. Like he has started to just sort of consistently win matches. It's sort of, yes, he's not going deep, but he's starting to win matches on television. We saw him get to the fourth round of the Worlds. We saw the fourth round of the UK Open, the semi-final last year of the European Championships, and we're just starting to see him more on television, Euro Tour events. When he's getting onto a bigger stage, and he's just starting to pick up a lot more wins. Obviously this year we've seen Euro Tour finals, Euro Tour semi-finals. We've seen him more and more getting up on a stage in front of a bigger crowd. I think it's really positive. I think it's interesting that it sets up a second round match against Ricky Evans, like two players who a lot of people probably wouldn't have picked to be in that second round, but one of them's going to be a quarter finalist. Either Luke Woodhouse or Ricky Evans is a quarter finalist. So, massive for either one. And yeah, Woodhouse has been great. He's played really, really well for a couple of years now. And he's done a good job, I think, of establishing himself like within that top 32. He has become a player that, we start to expect him to be at all these TV events. And yes, he hasn't reached the stage yet where we're looking and we're doing our picks through the draw and we have him winning semis and getting to here. But he's someone who, first and foremost, we expect to be at everything. We expect him to, that is coming a long way, isn't it? That's like he's.
Of course it is, yeah. And that's the thing. He's
building a career.
24th in the world as it stands right now. And another couple of wins, and he jumps above Nathan Aspinall into 21st. Like, he is in a position to seriously go and jump up. And if he carries on playing the way he is, like consistently sort of mid to late 90s generally and solid on the outer ring, there's nothing to say he can't go and win a tournament like this. And if he does that, he all of a sudden catapults himself up into the top 10.
Well, I mean, we have seen it, and let's be honest, we've seen it in the last few years, and we've seen it from the likes of Mike De Decker, and we've seen it from Ross Smith, and we've seen it from Richie Edhouse, and we've seen players that are playing very solidly around this sort of place in the rankings just start to put 2 or 3 games together in a row.
Yeah,
and they're just steady, and he's not going to turn up, and he's not going to give you 109 average, and he's not going to do all but he'll be pretty steady, and you'll only beat him if you play very, very well. And he catches a lot of people cold.
It almost feels like you're doing him a disservice calling him steady, but it's not, is it? Like, it's the biggest compliment you can pay him almost, that he doesn't go through these peaks and troughs. He doesn't. He just goes up there and he plays his game and he does it relentlessly at a good level.
Yeah, and that is, and I genuinely believe that is the key to doing all right in this sport. Like, it's the most important thing is to be able to find a good level of darts and replicate it. I think, like I say, he's going to benefit from winning the group. There was a lot of people, and let's be honest, a lot of people thought it was, a shootout between Schindler and Woodhouse who came through this, and most people, although I didn't, but most people were picking Schindler as I was looking across the board. So I think one of the things, and we'll probably get into it more when we start to predict the worlds and things like that, is that you can only overachieve for so long before you're just at that level. You're
just a good player.
And I think that's almost where Luke Woodhouse is getting to. Is he's not overachieving when he's doing this. This is sort of where he is. This is where his level is.
Yeah, I fully agree with you on that one. Next game of the night was the one that, let's be honest, everyone was hoping for a 5-0 in this one.
Have they finished?
Yeah, just about, I think.
I thought we were going to go and check back in and see where they were.
It was rogue.
Just took them off stage,
very rogue, sticking it on in the middle of the session this time, rather than just shoving it at the end again, so that everyone can try and make their way home early enough. But they did throw it on fourth on, and it did. I don't know whether it's just me, whether I've just become accustomed to the first couple of games, but it didn't feel that slow and that painful today.
No, and I think you. So I have a theory, right? Is that, and I think you're right. Is it takes you a couple of days, but I think once you've realised that he's not acting a twat, and that's how he plays darts, it makes it much more tolerable.
I'd be in the corner of saying he is still acting a twat, but it's not deliberately. He's not doing it for a purpose.
Okay, it's not gamesmanship.
He's just acting a twat out of just that's his natural game.
He's a natural twat. Is that your theory?
I'm sure. I've said this a couple of times this week, but I'm sure he's a lovely bloke. But he's not acting a twat. It's just a twat. Just a bit of a twat, yeah. But
no, and The only thing I will say about it, it's got nothing to do with the pace and nothing to do with, is that there was a few times during this game where I thought it was gonna get interesting. Yeah. And Toilo just let it down. Like he just let him say there was a few moments where I think could we have got to maybe 3-3 and we ended up at 4-2 and then you think the game's gone at that point. And I thought he had enough opportunities to really push Schindler. And in the end, Schindler, I think, just got let off because Schindler wasn't great. He was all right, but I think he just got let off a bit.
Yeah, I think it's probably a case of
a better player would have reined him in.
Yeah, I think, but Shindy's been there. He's done it before. He's won plenty of games on a big stage. This sort of straight shootout for who gets through suited him a lot more than it did Alexis Toilo in this game because he hasn't got that same level of experience and it's a bigger moment. And as much as he's become sort of the meme of the week and like everyone sort of having a bit of a laugh at his style of play and how long he's taking and everything else. One thing I will say for him, that what we need and what we always need in sport is people that create moments and create memorable things that you remember. Like that 167 yesterday is not going to be forgotten for a long time. The tops to win his game against Stephen Bunting when he celebrated after hitting the first tops. Like the moments that people remember and that the fun and they're great to see. And as much as some of it's really painful to watch, he still produces moments that people will remember when they go up.
100%. Yeah. And again, that's what you want, really, isn't it?
But that's it. I mean, would you rather watch someone who creates moments like that? So like a magician on the football pitch, so like David Bentley, for example, who just does ridiculous things. Okay. Or would you rather watch James Milner be boring as fuck and do nothing every week, but just be steady? Like,
I mean, it's a stretch, but I'll go with you. I will allow you to carry me off on the fucking David Bentley train. But no, again, and that is, you know, it's what we watch for. You know, it's what people watch for, doesn't it? And again, so the thing is, I was talking to someone today, like, interestingly at work, So more people are watching darts than ever before, and I quite like how I'm at work is because people know that I'm a bit of a darts nut, so people will talk to me about darts.
Yeah,
and I found it really interesting that like there was 3 or 4 people, whereas the thing that they were talking about, and it wasn't like, did you see this 9 dart? And nobody mentioned the 9 dart, and nobody cares about that. Like, you see that block? You see how
that's it.
Like, what on it? Like, but again, if you get people talking, you get people to know your name. Like that again, it's not always a bad thing. It's not, it's not. People know who you are. People might be more inclined to let you stick their patch on your shirt and
that's it. Or to pay, as Chili mentioned, I wonder what he charged for an exhibition. Well, I think we've got.
It's excellent value for money because you're there all bloody
night. Yeah, he get 3 nights out of him. Just a one game.
Get a long weekend for a game of 5 or 1.
Can we swap him in for Vessel Nyman? Any chance of that for our end of season do, Chili, or what?
Yeah, get a bit of that. Just get him in. Add him on.
We must have money in the budget for both.
Get him added.
Right. Away from the nonsense and onto Damon Hetter's hat.
Oh, yeah. I mean...
No, I like Damon Hetter's hat. I also like Damon Hetter, and I think he's a lot of fun. But I don't think he'll be particularly happy on his way home to his now full-time home in the UK, that he's not going backwards and forwards to Australia at all anymore.
No, great. Like, very good, like, brilliant news that. Like, it genuinely is, because I can't imagine what a cock on it must be, especially when you are subject to... some nonsense bureaucracy, and at some point, some twat in office can say, "Oh, actually, no, you haven't filled this form incorrectly, so but you have to go there and do this, and you have to fly over there, and you can't fill the form in this. You have to go fly over there and fill the form in there, and then bring it back.
You got to do it on your own in special.
Yeah, and you've put a red stamp on it, and it should have had a blue stamp on it. And
like 12 people had to be watching you. You've only got 11 witnessed it. So
the fact that he's being granted that indefinite leave to remain is really good. Like, it's good. Sounds like it's good for him. Good for darts. Good for it's great. I do continue to be a little bit alarmed. The words, I think the best words that I've heard was when Mardle said, I think probably a bit later in the broadcast today, where he just keeps finding a way to lose matches.
Yeah, that's what. As soon as you started this point here, I sort of knew. Well, I thought that's where you were going.
And I haven't found
the thing I thought as well.
I haven't found a better way to sum it up, and it's becoming, it's becoming
it's
more
not
and more.
One, is it? Like,
well, this is now. So this is now 4, and now if you count this as like, which we can, it's a round robin, a first round exit. That's 4 major TV events on the spin.
Yeah,
where he's gone out in the first round, like 4 in a row. Interestingly enough, he wasn't at the Slam last year, but the match play, the Grand Prix, and the European Championships, he went out of all 3 of them on the spin in the first round as well last year. So, like, we've had this spell 2 years in a row now of like 3, then 4 of the same events where
it does not like this time of the year.
Doesn't win a match. Just doesn't win a game.
No, that's it. And like, yes, he's won it. He's beat Lukeman, but like, come on. I mean, we'd have pushed Lukeman this week. He's clearly nowhere near his best at the moment.
Yeah,
and then you've got a matchup against the world number 147 to try and get yourself through. And you just have to beat him. That's all you have to do. And he's not able to do it.
No, it is. It's. I genuinely think that it is a bit alarming. Like, I don't know, because he's gonna. There's only so long that you can not pick up wins for before you start to slide down the rankings. And he's out at 13th at the minute. Luckily, he's not defending a huge amount of money between now and the end of this year. So there isn't a huge. He's only defending. I think. Well, mind you, he's defending 20 grand at the Players' Championship Finals and 35 grand at the World Championships. But then after that, he's going to into next year. He's going to really have to start defending. And this was a player that Cam, it's not a long time ago at all that we were having. I mean, I got in the shit for claiming that some of the entrances and the antics and things were a nudge, and I've been assured that they're not, towards a desire for the Premier League. And this is a player who we were legitimately saying
he's one of them. Like, obviously, Bunty got in last year, and you were looking at, yes, he's getting in off the back of being this big social media personality, and Damo's tried to do the same, and Daily Dose of Damo. It's a great watch, and it's really good fun, and it's good like content. And you're thinking he's now got at the same time he's got to take that next step with his darts to make sure that he gets into this. And unfortunately, he's going the wrong way.
Now again, he's gone from a player that 2 years ago made 3 quarterfinals to a player that like cannot pick a win up in a major can't get past the first round. So I hope it turns, because I think he's a massively positive addition for the for that scene right at the top of the rankings. But we were looking at Damon and thinking, we had him pegged as a Premier League player. We were thinking like established top 10 player, going to be there and there. He's going to start like really pushing them, and he appears to be on the
not
side.
One that I thought we would be looking at any point in the next 5 years, thinking he might drop out the top 16.
No.
And all of a sudden, he might be out of it within the next month.
And again, we've seen just how hard that is to recover from, because there is so many other players playing so well, and once you start losing that protection of being invited to everything, qualifying for everything, being at every Euro tour, etc., it becomes fucking hard, really hard.
You've got to go and qualify, and got to play every single Pro Tour, and you've got to do everything else. It's not an easy. All of a sudden, it's not. It's not an easy life anyway. They do a hell of a lot of work, but it certainly becomes a lot harder when there's even more pressure on it just to even put food on the table.
Absolutely.
What we haven't mentioned yet, because we've gone on about Heta, which is the bigger story, arguably, but Jurgen van der Velde, like, it just shows you, and it's another one, along with Cam Crabtree and others that we've seen this week, that entrance into this professional game through playing modus and playing for big money on television, on a stage with a lot of people watching it. Just no one's scared anymore, are they, when they turn up on the big stage?
No, and he really doesn't seem to be. And and I think we've seen him. The only time we've seen him on a PDC stage as a senior, if you like, we've seen him at the UK Open for a few years, but this is it. I think the more that we can have that walk on, the more we can get Crazy Nights on, the better.
Oh, yeah.
Like for me, that's a top tier walk on song. I think that is like, and I'm surprised that a bigger name hasn't snapped that up before now, because I think it's a top tier walk on song. But like again, doesn't look like he's on his first PDC major outside of mine head, does he? He doesn't look like that. The way that even just some of the celebrations on the screen, he is giving it to everybody. I'm really impressed, and long may it continue. I think again, that we know what the depth's like, across those players. It's amazing. Like, we know that there's so much depth, so much talent in there, and they can't all make it. You can't all be in the top 10 because there's not enough spots in there. But yeah, it is continuing to be very exciting to watch them come through in it.
Yeah, 100%. Someone who did the business, or the other way around to Damon Heta, where they were in a straight shootout in a game where you'd expect them to win. Going price just went up there, no fuss, no nonsense. Obviously got rid of James Wade 5-0 in his second game to put himself in a strong spot to qualify, and then goes in there, rattles off another 5-1 win this time round, and tops the group.
Yeah, and he sort of recovered from that blip, and this tournament does allow you to do that. It's the only one that lets you,
you can lose a game and still go on and win it.
Lets you get beat, but like go outside, give your head a shake, sleep on it, get up, get yourself in a better place, and then crack on. And I think that that's one of the things that makes it interesting. But
he's one of those players as well, isn't he? Like, he doesn't really let anything faze him either. Like, he almost likes the fact that he can lose a game, put himself under a bit of pressure, but he knows he's going to handle it and he knows he's going to deal with it. And I think I heard mentioned earlier on the broadcast, and I've not double checked the stat, but in 2 of his wins of this tournament previously, he lost the game in the group as well.
Yeah, it's just some players are like that, and he's a bit different to a lot of people. And the way, I think sometimes the way his mindset works and how he gets up for things and how he can get himself into that place that he needs to be to go, to be successful, is really interesting. And perhaps that is why we've seen him, having success in this environment. Maybe that he is someone that benefit. And I say it's the only tournament that allows you to get beat and then take revenge, if you like, come back and have another go, and then potentially play the person that beat you.
Yeah, well, yeah, that is still a
quarter-final
later down the line.
And is it a coincidence that he's won this 3 times? Because it just suits his personality and persona and his approach to things. But yeah, I mean, again,
potentially he plays in a game's time. He then plays the man that beat him in the first game.
Yeah, he's going to go and play Ricky Evans again. But it was just professional, wasn't it? He had a job to do. Yeah. He had a job to do, and quite professionally, he turned up and got it done and did it. And I thought it was, again, impressive, bit dangerous for everybody else, especially with Wade out the way. I think Gezi, because he's a real threat in this tournament.
Yeah, fully agree with you on that one. The hardest working man in darts has done some work. We have a clip from Gezi Price.
Oh, good on him.
I know, he's got a little clip in the background, so we've got one here.
I actually prefer people putting me down rather than bigging them up. I prefer them putting me down because then I try and prove them wrong. So yeah, it just gives me a kick up the backside. And yeah, I don't know, people talking about me that I'm finished, I'm on a slippery slope. But yeah, I had the worst year last year and I'm still scraping the top 10. But yeah, I've got a free year next year, and if I can get back in the top 8 at the end of this season, after the World Championship, then free season next year. I think I'm one of the best players this season. If you look at the way I played last year, it was absolutely terrible when I was in. I'm number 1 on the Pro Tour, number 1 on the Players Championship list. If you look at money earned, I'm in the top 5, top 6. I've had a great year. You look at everybody else. Don't question me, question them.
There's a lot of competition. We're talking about, for example, Claude Grease being in it. What do you think about that?
Yeah, I think that's a joke. But yeah, I don't know.
Lovely little bit in there at the end just for a headline.
Yeah,
but he's right. He's absolutely right.
Very, very, very well done. But no, yeah, smashing. Right, really good. I think he's properly up for it. I think he's very, very, very dangerous.
Yeah, I agree with you on that one. Someone that maybe we wouldn't have expected to be making the second round, regardless of how good we know he is and how good he has been for a hell of a long time. Michael Smith getting the win over Alex Spellman. We're going to have to do these 2 results together because it basically tells you what happened.
No, quite right.
He had to go out there, had to go and get a win. Yes, Spellman's not been at his best in this tournament and didn't play great again today. But what he did was, from a position of being a leg behind Nathan Aspinall in the fight, he went out there, got a 5-2 win that meant Aspinall had to match that up against the world number 1 to have a chance. And I thought it was a really solid performance under a lot of pressure for a man that we haven't seen on our screen for a while and haven't seen anywhere near his best.
Yeah, you're right. And I think it's interesting because you sort of, and it's such an odd tournament, this, isn't it? Because realistically, what we now know is the hard work, if you like, by Michael Smith. The game that really mattered was back on Saturday, and that was his game against Nathan, because that was the game that really mattered in this group. Was who won out of those 2 was going to go through. That's how it was going to work.
Yeah.
And it is funny that then things end, you end up with all sorts of interesting things that can happen. But in reality, generally, unless something really strange goes on, if you beat someone, you'll probably go through ahead. You'll do better than them with a bit. You'd like to hope, especially with the world number one in your group, who nobody can lay a bloody glove on. I was. Oh, not well. Yeah, I was disappointed because we didn't see close to what Alex Spellman is capable of this week.
Yeah,
and that's really frustrating. And I think he will be terribly frustrated because, again, the moments that we saw, there was moments where it was beautiful. There was a couple of 180s that were, over the course of the weekend, we saw some just glimpses.
Yeah.
And I think where he'll be so disappointed as well is because a lot of the time when he was missing, he wasn't staying straight. He was missing. It was ones and fives, and that's where
there was even the sort of the switch down to the 25 that I can't remember which leg it was, but he was trying to leave a finish, and he's hit the treble 20. He's perfect to stack it on top of it. He's decided to go second dart for the 25, and it's halfway up the one. Like it's not anywhere near it, and I think that's just.
I think it's probably a combination of nerves. I mean, let's be honest as well. Like, this is the worst group. Like, you've literally got two former world champions and international. Like, it's three of the biggest names ever in darts. Three of the most famous dart players of all time. Three of the players that, if you're an American fan and you've been to a World Series event, like, these are the people that Alex Spellman will previously have paid to watch. Like, this is the sort of, and they're three of the, there's your three. Oh, brilliant. I get great. I get a qualifier in my group. Who have I got? Oh, shit. It's like, it's not.
Sorry. Yeah, it's the former.
Yeah. Bloke who won this just a very, very short time ago.
Yeah.
It's tough, and I just wish we'd seen a bit more. And because, again, I think if we had have seen a bit more from Alex Spellman, then who's to know? Like, what could have happened between the other two? Because I think if he gets a couple more legs, and again, there was moments, Michael Smith didn't seem comfortable for large parts of that game. And I think we saw that because there was a number of just like big releases of emotion, big roars, big shot, because he knew when Alex Spellman,
like, it was a massive.
When Alex Spellman got a couple of legs, he is no longer. I mean, let's be honest. There was a couple of years, 18 months, where Michael Smith with tops, like, you were shocked if he didn't go.
Yeah,
like, he missed tops, and you're like, what? Now, like, it doesn't feel as fluid. You are sat there wondering, is he going to grab it? Is he going to grab it? And there just wasn't enough. I do think if Alex could have grabbed another leg, and he had darts too, but I think if he could have just got another leg, then I don't know if he could have put the pressure on a bit too much.
I was going to say that I think the point was at 3-2, wasn't it? And that was the top where we got the big roar from Michael Smith, where he took out 47 in 2 darts, no fuss. And like I say, if that doesn't go, Spellman's sat waiting on 24. All of a sudden, you're at 3 each, and
and I think that's when we see how big Michael Smith's balls are at the moment.
Yeah,
and I don't even think he knows at the minute. I don't think he knows what he's capable of.
Yeah, whether they're there if he needs them or not. Like,
exactly. Interesting to see, though, wasn't it? And then again, so then going into that last game, I think it was a bridge too far, wasn't it? Before
you're on a high into nothing, having to win 5-2 against the world number one, aren't you?
Especially when he fucking starts and has the first leg off you like that.
Well, yeah, he needed one leg to guarantee qualifications. Just rattles through a 10 on the back of his last leg. Before that was the 9 to beat Michael Smith.
Yeah, and this is like, but that's it. Luke, you only need one leg. Do I? All right, hang on.
We were 3 legs in, and they'd be winning 10, 12, and 12, and Aspinall's 2-1 down, and going, I've not done anything wrong here. I'm averaging 115, and I can't get anywhere near.
Aspinall's primary mistake there was not going 9 darters in a row. Like
that's it, yeah.
Which is what he would have needed to do. It's like, yeah, it's tough. Very tough for Nathan. Again, like, I don't know.
I'm assuming he knew where he was at with what he needed to do as well, and that once that went away, I think he sort of dipped a little bit towards the end of the game because he knew regardless of what happened, he wasn't going to.
I don't get it. So there's a lot of, and I know at the beginning of this year, you know, we saw those quarters in the Masters and the UK Open, but then, you know, first round of the match play, first round of the Grand Prix, first round here, only got one game under his belt at the Europeans. There still is a lot of people talking about how well Nathan Aspinall's playing, and I think he's like, again, bit Damon Hettery, like he's playing well, but he's finding a way to lose games far too often.
Yeah,
and again, I think he's
like he is. I think, like I say, Greta Chalmers just mentioned it there. It's just exactly what I was going to say. Like he's had such a good run on the Euro Tour. Like won 2-3 events he won on the Euro Tour this year. I mean, I think it's sort of masks what has happened the rest of the time because we keep seeing him with a trophy in his hand at the end of a weekend, but we're not seeing it on the bigger stages and we're not seeing him go close in those. But the game looks better. He's obviously playing well on the Pro Tour as well and firing in 9 darters every other leg, it feels like, towards the end of the year on the Pro Tour. But yeah, there is still more that we need to see from him.
It's alarming. He is becoming, in my opinion, I know to some people it's like he's in and there's no brainer, but I think he's becoming a harder and harder Premier League pick outside the top 20. Another.
Nonsense, Daniel. Absolutely
exit.
I'll have none of that said.
I just give Chris Dobie Mr. Brightside to come out to. I'll compromise on that.
Yeah. Well, apparently he doesn't want Mr. Brightside anymore. Anyway, he wants Lose Yourself, which
well, it's his
I
idol.
think would get as much of a response from the crowd as Mr. Brightside, to be honest.
Yeah, I think it's a well enjoyed song, isn't it? People like it.
Yeah. Well, that is you've led us quite nicely into before we go into the predictions. I've got a little treat for you before we go into it. And you just mentioned him there. We have a clip from Chris Dobie as well.
You spoil me.
I know. There we go.
Yeah, you want to better recent performances, and I've done that the last few years at the Worlds. You just want to build on what you done last year, and yeah, I think I want to start winning them. I don't want to just get the quarterfinals, semi-finals. You want to start pushing to win these events, and that gets your name out there and gets you pushed towards the Premier Leagues. Up in the top 4 of the rankings, so yeah, I want to be winning these. I don't just want to be reaching quarters, semi-finals. Yeah, it is frustrating because I know my game's there and I can do it. I've done it before, but as I say to people, you can't win every time, and you've got to learn to lose before you win. And yeah, I've lost some big games, and I want to put that right and start winning. But yeah, I feel there's something just around the corner. So whether it's this week or next week, then who knows? But I do feel my game's there.
Happy with that?
Yeah, it's what we've all been saying about Chris Dobie, isn't it? He needs to go and win things now, doesn't he? And it's not just about performing well; it's about going on and winning things, and not just cementing that top 8 in the world, but also filling the home up with trophies.
That's what we want. That is exactly what we want.
As ever, all the clips will be on in full, so you can go and watch all.
Yes, so just so you know, he sounds like Phil's had a complete nightmare tonight. So I've seen that he's trying to upload one of the interviews, and the upload time is like 2.5 hours. I think the Wi-Fi and phone signal and every other method of communication around Wolverhampton. He needs to get away.
I think it serves him right, to be honest, because what he's done is he's used all his data up playing Christmas songs already for the last couple of weeks. So
yes, and yeah,
serves him right.
Yeah, he's used up all of that energy defrosting Mariah Carey that he's not been able to
That's it. That's it. The defrost is halfway through Buble at the moment, and it's just not allowing him to upload any videos.
No, you can't get it done. He needs to He needs to have a word with Elon Musk and get one of them Starlinks on his back. He needs a backpack with a satellite. He needs a permanent satellite link. That's what he needs.
Just constantly going around.
Yeah. Fashion it into a hat.
Well, we are on to then. Now that you've had your little treat, we have now got predictions time. Time for everyone to get involved, get the predicting wine out, and we've got 8 games again.
Good lad tonight. Sunny Delight. There's a blast from the past.
I'm on the old Tesco apple and elderflower sparkling water.
Oh, I've gone Sunny Delight tonight. I needed some joy in my life, and a glass of Sunny Delight can just give me that if it's been kept in the fridge.
Yeah, not quite the same joy as a lovely glass of Malbec, but
no, I did joke with Anna earlier that I was thinking of having one glass of wine, and produced a vase. That's it.
Yeah, I got to have one glass of wine. It's one of these that one bottle.
Just the one.
It's just got one of them glasses that just like pops in the top like a straw, but then it's got a glass.
Yeah, that's what we need. One of them will do. Might have one tomorrow night.
Right, on to predictions. And everyone, if you're trying to put them in and you can't, it's because you've not clicked subscribe. So make sure you do that. Give us a like while you're at it as well.
Outrageous.
But we will start with Johnny Clayton against Danny Noppert in the first game of the evening. I'll let you
it's
go
weird,
first.
This is dead weird because, I mean, let's be honest, this isn't just me. Anyone with most, like, common sense thought that this was going to be the shootout for like
this was top the group job.
This was who tops the group, wasn't it? And we come in with Johnny having been already eliminated. So can Johnny get up to it playing for free, or will that? No, do you know what? I've backed it. I think I backed him to make a quarterfinal, or I think I maybe backed Danny Noppert for a semi-final. I think I did. In fact, I'm sure I backed Danny Noppert for a semi-final, so I've got to stick with it, and I've got to say that Danny Noppert will win 5-2.
Yeah, I'm with you. I don't see Johnny getting overly excited about playing for. I mean, there's still $3,000, I suppose, on there if he can finish in third, but that's not what he came to Wolves for, is it? And it's not what he was hoping for on his weekend. I don't think he'll be that bothered, and I think he'll just want to be out of there as soon as. And Danny Noppert's playing really well at the moment, and he's very difficult to beat. So I think he wins this. I'm gonna go 5-2 as well, I think.
Yeah, I think you're right.
In the chat room, Robbie's got Noppy 5-3, Daniel's 5-3, Malachi's gone the other way from us. He's on Clayton 5-3, Noppert 5-3 for Bob. Gordon's on Clayton 5-3. 5-3 is a very popular score in the chat room. Everyone's gone 5-3 one way or the other.
I think that's such a sit on the fence score in a first.
Yeah, exactly. Not putting twos out there like us. Patrick's on for Noppert 5-3. As is all boxed up. There we go. Scott's given us one. Johnny 5-4. I'm not sure anyone wants to watch 9 legs of this tomorrow. It's just sort of get it out of the way and get on to the good stuff. And Clayton 5-2 for Greater Showman, who's got my CH prediction in there tonight before we finish doing them for that one. His Toilo internet is clearly working a little bit faster today. Second game of the night. And I think surprise package is fair to say. Nico Springer, top of the table.
I picked him to top the table on the live lounge.
I mean, fair play to you. That is.
The problem is, I did have Bo Greaves finishing second as well. Like I predicted complete. I tried to manifest complete chaos.
Yeah, I like it, and I mean, yeah, bold selection.
Could have happened
to have him topping it, but that is where he sits at the moment.
Could have happened.
Having averaged, I think his tournament average is about 89, and he's beat both Michael Van Gerwen and Gary Anderson. And
I think
Bo's tournament average is 101 and a bit, and has lost to both of them. This makes no sense. It's a stupid game.
You know, it doesn't. But Bo Greaves beats Nico Springer. I think she's going to go bonkers 5-1.
You think?
I think she's having revenge over being knocked out. Yeah.
on the big stage, she's sort of turning into another one of these players that plays fantastically well and doesn't win games.
I think there's a
However,
freedom.
I do think that the level of performance from her tomorrow will be different, and it'll be the same, but it will be different to what she gets thrown back at her. Because I don't think that Nico will go to those levels knowing that he's already qualified. I think he'll be relaxed and won't be too worried. I think she wins 5-2 for me. In the chat room, Gordon 5-4 for Bo. Robbie's got it 5-3 for Bo. Daniel's gone for Bo 5-3 as well. 5-4 for Malachi. Springer 5-4 for Patrick. Bob's gone the same way as well, 5-4. Bo 5-3, Bo 5-2, and Bo 5-2 from Scott, John, and Great Showman. On third, and I did see someone asking this in the chat earlier on. I've forgotten who it was, so apologies. Daz, it was Daz wanting to know what time Littler will roughly be on. About 8:15 is the sort of predicted time for Littler, who plays Daryl Gurney. Your turn to go first, Mr. Simpson.
Tell you what, it's not worth having 50 pence on this one, is it?
Well, it depends. If you think Daryl Gurney's going to win, it's well worth it.
Jesus, the over-underline 6.5, and even that's massively odds on.
Yeah, you can get as high as 13-2 on Daryl Gurney if you fancy an upset.
I don't.
Imagine on the exchanges you'll get even better than that, to be honest. But
no, unfortunately, I have seen nowhere near enough from Daryl Gurney. That last game against Carroll.
He's going to want to guarantee top spot as well, isn't he? It's not.
Yeah, he wins 5-1.
Yeah. Yeah, I think we're being we're just agreeing too much here, but I do think Gurney gets a leg, but I think that's all he gets. So yeah, 5-1.
It's alarming, this, isn't it?
Yeah.
Very alarming.
Daniel's agreeing with us as well, as is Gordon. Great Showman's gone a little bit bolder. He's gone for the 5-0. I was close to it. 5-1 for Luke as well. And then what was the raging about last night? I have no idea. Probably just the fact that he played shit again.
That'll do it.
Littler 5-3 for Bob, 5-1 for Patrick, 5-1 and a 170 for John, and 5-2 for Scott. And All What's Up sneaks in there at the end with a 5-0. Lucas Venig against Cam Crabtree. The match that we all expected in this group to be a game for who goes through, didn't we?
He's a big fucker, isn't he?
Yeah. Big bloke.
He's a fucking big lad. Yeah, good on him. Like, this is what, let's be honest, this is what we want to see from the Slam. Because if you're going to get a load of rogue, randoms in from all over the place, qualifying through different routes, then let's see him actually do a bit, and let's see him win a couple of games, and let's see him, build it up. So, what do I think tomorrow? I think it's a bit of a toss-up if I'm completely honest with you. But I think we are more likely to see a performance level from Cam Crabtree that will get the job done. We've seen averages of. We started off. We beat Johnny with that 102 average. I just think his game will be too good. I don't think it'll be as far away as the last few that I predicted. I think probably 5-3.
Yeah, I think. Oh, he's sitting on the fence here. I think he'll be feeling a little bit hard done by. I think will Cam Crabtree in that he's beat Johnny 5-1. He's then got 4 legs in his second game against Danny Knopper. A lot of times that's enough to sort of see you through pretty much. And he's unfortunate that obviously Johnny's gone on gone and lost to Lucas as well, and it's put him at a point where his leg difference is irrelevant now.
Yeah,
regardless
exactly.
of how
He's
well
got to beat the man, hasn't he?
Yeah, he's just got to go and beat the bloke. So, yeah, he's. I do think he will, though. I think he's playing well. I think the task is fantastic, and I think that will get him over the line, and he wins this one 5-2. What have we got in the chat room? Cam 5-3 for Gordon. Daniel's got it 5-3 as well. Vernig 5-4 for Ducky Baker. Crabtree 5-4. Crabtree 5-3 for Scott and Robbie. Patrick's got it 5-4 for Vernig, as has Malachi. Cam 5-3 for All Boxed Up. Cam 5-4 for John. Cam 5-3 for Bob. And Great Showman's 5-3 for Cam as well. Connor Scott against Karol Sedlacek.
Easy.
Connor Scott wins. Connor Scott wins 5-2 and moves on to the next round.
You bastard. It feels very, very unnatural for us to agree this much.
I know.
And I can't say 5-3 because I've already had a dig at that and then done it.
And then done it, yeah. You just double down, just repeatedly keep doing it, regardless of the fact that you're battering everyone else for doing it.
I'm gonna have to go 5-1. I think, like, I thought the performance against Daryl Gurney showed such maturity against a player of Daryl's experience on that stage in the opening match to come through a deciding leg was superb. Like, again, like the Littler game, I thought he was brilliant in the Littler game. He's played really well, but again, he's bumped into Luke Littler averaging 105. You know,
well, that's it. He averaged 100 in that and hit all three of his doubles. Like,
yeah, I mean, what can you,
including the 170?
And in contrast to that, you know, we've seen an 84 and an 86 from Karol Sedlacek. So I don't think he's got anything this week to land the glove on Connor Scott. And I'm pretty confident that we see Connor Scott move through into the next round.
Yeah, I'm with you. What does the chat room think, though? Daniel's got it 5-2 for Scott, as is All Boxed Up. Scott 5-3 for Robbie. Gordon's got it 5-1 for Connor. And Greatest Showman and Scott both 5-3 for Connor. John's going for the upset. Well, it's not a massive upset, is it really? Probably stretching it a little bit to call it an upset. But Sedlacek 5-3. 5-3 Scott for Patrick. And then Malachi's gone Scott 5-4. And Bob's gone for Sedlacek 5-4.
We need to sort of do these next two together a bit, don't we, as well?
The next two.
Have we not got two?
We've got Gary Anderson against Michael Van Gogh.
I've missed one. Yeah,
missed the best game of the night. Gary Anderson, Michael Van Gogh in straight shootout for who goes through.
Do you know what, though? This is the problem, is you set yourself up for disappointment with statements like that.
Yeah, I know, but
it could be.
I'm going to continue to do it.
It could be El Clasico.
It could be Bobbins.
It could be El Wanky at the same time, couldn't it? Yeah, I think it's difficult to know what you're going to get. They could both rock up and chuck in 105 average, and it could be the best game we've ever seen in an opening round of this tournament. I'm just not. Gary was so good against Bo, though, wasn't he?
He was.
And
Van Gogh was good against Bo as well, but
not as good, though, was he? He wasn't as good, and Bo wasn't as good against Michael as she was against Gary, and Gary kept that like 102.5 average at bay. And yeah, I think I've got to. I honestly think with these two, all you can do is literally look at the last game, the last thing they did, because it's so unpredictable. I just think you've got to look at the last dart they threw, and which means I have to go with Gary. But I'll go 5-4. It'll go to the wire.
You've taken it from me. We're agreeing again. I was just looking back as well. They haven't played each other since the group stage of the Slam last year,
Crikey.
when Gary Anderson
True.
averaged 105 and beat Michael Van Gogh in 5-4. And I think we see a repeat.
I was going to say that could almost be an absolute carbon copy, couldn't it?
Yeah, I think we see a repeat. I think that's what we'll see. I think that Gary's top level is slightly higher than Michael's is at the moment.
Isn't it a funny time in darts when these two only play each other annually?
I know. Madness.
It's not ideal, is it? It's not good.
No, it's not. Well, this is why we're so excited about it, though, as soon as we see it, why we get overexcited and make stupid statements like I did.
I forgot it was happening.
I said, yeah, you skipped past it and we're going into the final two.
Oh, dear me.
What have we got in the chat room? No one's forgotten in the chat room. Michael Van Gogh in 5-3 for Gordon. Anderson 5-2 for Ducky. Malachi's got it 5-4 for Gando. He's thinking with his heart, the same as us. He wants to see all 9 legs and it be mint. Gando 5-4, MVG to mismatch darts from Daniel, but we love a bold prediction. Ando 5-4 for Robbie. Scott's gone the same way as well. Pastrick's got it 5-2 for MVG. So the only ones going sort of MVG winner going quite wide. Gary 5-3 for Bob, and then Ando 5-3 for both John and All Boxed Up. And then, yeah, like you say, then we are into the final 2 games where it is wide open.
Yeah, it's...
All we know for sure is that 2 people will qualify.
Yeah, it's really... And it's brilliant. Like, I mean, we saw this group and everybody thought, like, poor Lisa Ashton, that's not fair. Like, and it's a brutal group of incredibly talented players. And I do think it's remarkable that, if you're Jan van Veen, you can, when we've seen people, in the other groups, we've not seen anybody at all not qualify on 4 points. He's already got 4 points and he still isn't there. And he still might not be. And in order to make sure he gets the 6 points, he's got to face Josh Rock, which isn't handy. Wessel Nyman, like, again, with the greatest of respect to Lisa Ashton, I don't see Wessel not winning that game. And I think that when he wins that game, he's probably going to stick some positive leg difference on as well.
Yeah. This is the thing, like, Jan could easily miss out here. Very, very easily miss out.
Oh, God, yeah. Well, because if you look, Josh Rock's on a +4. Jan is on +3, but, like, if he gets beat by Josh Rock tomorrow, then let's say it's got to come down by at least 1. Like, like, he's got to be at least 1.
So then he's comfortably behind Rock and he's on +2, even if he loses 5-4, which means that Vessel's only got to go and win
5-2.
5-2, yeah, 3 leg difference. No, because he lost to him, didn't he?
Get him on the count back, yeah.
Yeah, so he's gonna have to win 5-1.
But again,
you fancy that, don't you? Like, I think that will be the result. To be honest,
I was going to say that's the score I'm picking. I think that's the score I'm going with. Is 5-1 Wessel,
which means that literally Jan van Veen can only go through if he wins.
But I think he will.
Do you?
Yeah, I do. I think he's at it. I think he's going to take a lot from that European Championship. I think he's on a real head of steam at the minute, and he's won 2 matches already. He hasn't got to think about the fact that he's already lost 1 or he didn't get the result that he wanted. Josh Rock's already lost a game in this tournament.
He has lost his last 3 to Josh Rock, though.
I think he breaks rules now, this lad.
Yeah.
I think I'd go 5-3, Jan van Veen.
Oh, I think this one's nervy as hell. I think it goes all the way. And I'm with you. I think under pressure now, everything on the line, one leg shootout for who qualifies. I think Jan's got him in that. I think
I agree. At the minute,
one that gets over the line. So yeah, 5-4 Jan for me. What have we got in the chat room? This is going to be chaos now. There's going to be predictions all over the gaff.
Oh yeah, we've
Gordon's done
right
properly.
in
He's
there,
got together. He's gone 5-2 and Jan 5-4. So he's got both of those to qualify in. Great Showman's gone for Jan 5-3 and Vessel 5-3, which means again both of those two qualify, and Josh Rock misses out. Robbie's got Vessel 5-2, and where's his other one? Jan 5-4. So he again, everyone's got Josh Rock missing out here.
Yeah, I noticed there's not a huge amount of people.
Malachi's predicted a game that's not happening. He's got Jan winning 5-4 against Vessel. I think
Brilliant.
We've already had that game.
Might see it in the quarterfinal.
Yeah, that's it. We have already had that game, and it was actually 5-3. But yeah, Vessel 5-1 and Jan 5-3 for Patrick, which would mean that both of them go through. I think it does, doesn't it? Yeah. Vessel 5-1 and Jan 5-4. Daniel's gone exactly the same as me. Rock missing match starts. Again, that wouldn't surprise me when it comes down to it. Nyman 5-2 and Jan 5-3 for Scott. Bob's got Nyman 5-2 and Jan 5-1. That's a big win. Jan 5-1 over Rock. Who else have we got in here? I apologise if I've missed anyone here, but there's so much going on. All What's Up's got it 5-0 for Vessel and 5-4 for Rock. So he's got Jan missing out. That's the first one of those in there. And then John's got Vessel 5-0 and Jan 5-3. What's Maliki got? 5-1 Vessel, 5-4 Jan. I think we've had.
Oh, it's a busy out. I tell you what, you've done well to get through them, mate, because that was chaos.
We got there in the end, and that is us done for night 3. Any other business before we go?
I don't think so. Other than the fact that I'm very quickly getting to bed because I've got to.
Yeah, absolutely. I'm not sticking around to talk to you. Like we do sometimes.
No, I need to have a suit and tie on at 6:30 in the morning. I'm afraid, and I'll be back here tomorrow night. So yeah, I'll be straight.
You do look well in a suit and tie. I've got to say. After the old wedding, 3
yes,
weeks,
I did.
Scrubbed up very well. It didn't look at all like you were working the door. You managed to look.
No, I managed to look actually like someone who. But you know, it takes all the fun out of it. I said something I think when I was talking to the other lads when I was there, and they was on about I think it's probably because the rest of them didn't manage to cobble together a full outfit between them, right? To fetch somebody a pair of shoes and tie and
yeah, that. So yeah, you have to bring a pair of shoes for Gob and.
So it does. If you have to wear a suit,
bring an extra dress with you, to be honest. So that
I never leave the house without one, mate. Never leave the house without one.
Yeah, the only one that managed to get himself a full outfit at that table was Jonathan. That's because I provided it for him.
Exactly. Yeah, correct. You managed to actually be clothed by somebody else. But no, it does. If you have to wear a suit and a tie every single day, it takes the fun out of the occasions where you get to wear one because you get up and it's like getting dressed for work. I said that's exactly what I said when someone's well, that's nice. It's like I'm just like going to work.
It definitely does that. I am glad these days that I don't have to. I don't have to put on a suit for work for the most part.
Yeah, I think I'm jealous of a lot of these people that are working from home now. They're just working their fucking underpants, I think.
Thank you to Greater Showman for the congrats. And Malik asking, how's married life? Well, it's pretty much the same as before. And I'm sat on here and she's in bed.
Hey, standard.
It's literally.
I've been married for a long time, mate. It's the key. It's the key to making it work.
Yeah, absolutely. Well, yeah, that is all done for tonight. I think Just to make sure I get past 3 weeks, I'm gonna have a night off tomorrow, and it'd be yourself and Carwin, I believe, Mr. Simpson, is it?
I think so, mate. Yeah, I think the Welsh correspondent's in tomorrow.
Yep, he was that bloke that's imitating Toilo in his league. I think it might just have finished his game by then.
Get there in time for McDonald's starting to serve breakfast, I think.
Yeah, that's it. And you can, I think he mentioned also that you've got half an hour drive back afterwards, because I assume in the old South Wales league that the pubs aren't that close together. To be fair, yeah.
Oh, you've drawn the short straw if you're the designated driver, that mate, aren't you? Jesus.
Yeah, you don't fancy that one, do you? Well, I don't know. Which one do you want least? Like the short straw of being the designated driver, having to pay for that taxi with a few drop-offs, that's going to cost you a fortune as well.
Oh, especially, I don't know, but it's not only that. I was just thinking, what if I'm getting older now? What if you have a few pints and then you needed piss on the way home? Like,
yeah, that's a struggle as well. Yeah.
Well, at least just pull over.
Then again, I suppose it's quite easy to just pull over in the middle of the valleys when there's nobody about.
I would have thought you'd be safe as houses, yeah.
Yeah, right. Well, on that note, we are done for tonight. So thank you, everyone, for getting involved. Thank you for being part of it. You make it all what it is as ever. And Dan and Carwin will see you tomorrow evening.